This video is covering the first page of the FSA review, starting with number 1. The directions state to multiply the two polynomials and write your answer in standard form. Standard form means descending degree order. Negative 3x times 4x minus 2. Really all that means, we can ignore the multiplication symbol in between and just put the negative 3x beside the 4x minus 2. All that really means is negative 3x times the quantity 4x minus 2. We're going to use the distributive property and distribute the negative 3x to the 4x and to the negative 2. We multiply negative 3x times 4x to get negative 12x squared. And then we multiply negative 3x times negative 2. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive, so we get plus 6x. We need to make sure that it's in descending degree order, and our degrees go in the order of 2 and 1, so we're good. It's important to remember that we cannot combine negative 12x squared and 6x. X squared cannot be combined with x. They are not like terms. Moving on to number 2, we also have to remember it says multiply the two polynomials and write your answer in standard form. So we need to remember standard form. Number 2 is just like number 1, it's just a little bit fancier. So we need to use the same distributive property, but first let's start with 2t times t squared, and then we multiply it by negative 4t, and then negative 5. Let's not forget about the negative 3. We'll deal with him in a minute. So 2t times t squared is going to be 2t cubed. 2t times negative 4t is negative 8t squared. And 2t times negative 5 is negative 10t. So we're done with the 2t. If you want, you can even cross it out. Now let's distribute again using the negative 3. It goes to all three terms as well. Negative 3 times t squared is negative 3t squared. Negative 3 times negative 4t, negative times a negative, we're going to have a positive 12t. And negative 3 times negative 5 is plus 15. We have a lot of terms there. Let's see if we can combine any. I see only one t cubed, so we're just going to go ahead and write that down, 2t cubed. I do see a t squared and a t squared, and sometimes I like to put shapes around my like terms to help me remember that they're like terms. And I see a t and a t, so we'll put rectangles around the t's. And 15 is the only constant, so he'll be last. Negative 8t squared and negative 3t squared. A negative and another negative is a greater negative, so minus 11t squared. Negative 10t plus 12t is plus 2t. And don't forget the plus 15. Let's make sure it's in descending degree order for standard form. We have a cubed, a squared, a 1, and no t. So we are good to square our answer and move on. Question number 3. Did the multiplication process result in a polynomial in both numbers 1 and 2? And explain. Is this a polynomial? Yes. Poly means multiple, so there is more than one term with constants and variables. And we have a polynomial here. 2 monomials and 4 monomials, so we are good. So we would answer this yes, both numbers 1 and 2 result in a polynomial. A polynomial multiplied by another polynomial yields a polynomial answer. And last but not least, number 4. Will the product of the two polynomials always be a polynomial? Explain. This is tagging on to number 3, and the answer is yes. When you multiply two polynomials, the answer can only be a polynomial. It is a closed function. And there you have it. There is page 1 of the FSA Review, Packet 1.